Trinidad and Tobago, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. It's Fire Friday. Remember, viewers, call your friends, call your family, let them know Real Talk with Saieed Ali is going live on Synergy Network. Now, we are on Synergy Network from Monday to Friday with a rerun the next day. Our time frame is from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. There's a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember that, viewers. So I am also encouraging you, viewers, to open a savings account at Real Talk Credit Union Information. Remember, it is important for you to start saving for yourself and for your kids. Also, we are offering you 4% on fixed deposit, viewers. The highest interest rate that you will get any financial institution is Real Talk Credit Union Information. Remember that, viewers. Real Talk Group of Company comprised of Real Talk with Saieed Ali, live on Synergy TV, Real Talk Real Estate, we have Real Talk Equipment Rental, we have a financial institution, we also have Real Talk Credit Union Information, the last on our company. So, viewers, it's 5 successful companies under the Real Talk Group. Remember, we are reaching for the sky, and we are also allowing you to reach for the sky when you make an investment with that. So our numbers are on screen, viewers. Remember that. Call the numbers Monday to Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Both location, number 14 Carolina Savannah Road in Shogunas and number 132 Sipero Road, Victoria Village in San Fernando, where we have courteous staff. They are waiting, they are willing to help you set up your appointment, come in with us, and open a savings account or even a fixed deposit. Remember that, viewers. So I am Saieed Ali, a very successful businessman in Trinidad and Tobago. I also do spiritual work. I've been blessed to do that. Well, I thank God for it. You know, some people would say, oh, there's a voodoo man, you're drinks man, you're this, you're that, you're the next. You can say what you want about Saieed. You can say what you want. You might curse me today and tomorrow you might end up right by my doorstep. Let me tell you something. God has been good to me. And God could also be good to you. But it is you as the individual to allow God to help you. You know much thing that I say about Saieed? Oh, Saieed is a big mouth man on TV. They show off. Let me tell you something. One thing I learned about being a Muslim. You don't ever show off. Because just as how God gave it to you today, He can take it away tomorrow. And that I am fearful of. I am fearful of Him taking away all the blessings He has bestowed upon me. So hence the reason why there are things I will do and things I will not do. There are places I will go and places I will not go. Yes. So I am also a respected community individual. I try my best to help out in communities, no matter what. No matter what. But tonight I just want to thank God for all the grace, all the blessings, everything that He has done for me and my family. So far, even through the program Real Talk with Saieed Ali, I want to thank him. A lot of people got help in communities with road, bridges, box train, and other helps. Other type of help from Real Talk Group of Company. And also, something that we always do is, we give out a lot of grocery. A lot of grocery. Real Talk Group of Companies, they do a lot of charitable work in Trinidad and Tobago. It's something I don't highlight. You know why? Because what the left hand do, don't let the right hand know. Now I'm going to tell you something. When we die, what do we carry back to the grave with us? We don't carry money. We don't carry the big house. We don't carry the fancy car. We don't even go with clothes. They wrap us up in cotton, white cotton. You carry nothing when you go beside the good deed that you do. Only the good Lord will judge you. So this is something I keep to the front of my head, right here. Right here. So as we start off our program tonight, viewers, the Ministry of Health is advising the public that the monkeypox or Mpox is no longer considered a public health emergency of international concerns. The advisory was also issued by World Health Organization after the 5th meeting of the International Health Regulation Emergency Committee on Wednesday. A release from the ministry said the committee noted that sustained decline in reported case globally before no longer considering a public health emergency. This was a 90% decline in report cases within the last 3 months. The committee said, however, the virus continued to be transmitted within certain communities. While there were no confirmed cases of this virus in TNT, the MOH said it will remain vigilant. It added that it will continue to keep the public updated as necessary. So thank God for that, viewers. It's out of the way. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali has chastised or is chastising opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar for writing to Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley calling for an investigation into the Brent Thomas affairs. In a post on Facebook, the PM condemned the opposition leader for overstepping, saying there is a role for the opposition and a role and responsibility for the government in managing the affairs of the state of Trinidad and Tobago. So there is also, viewers, the rights of the opposition to write to the Barbadian government or the Barbados government. The opposition leader have all rights to send a letter to her requesting information. Requesting information concerning the incident that happened with Brent Thomas. She is well within her league to do so. Well within her league. He said the latest self-promotion of the opposition leader as an insertion into the business of the handling of the sensitive Brent Thomas matter between the government of Barbados, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, and the TTPS is a wholly unnecessary and out of place. How could you say that, Dr. Rowley, when the judge said it was unlawful? It was unlawful. It was kidnapping, he said. So the opposition is well within their right to request answers and investigate what is taking place. We are talking about a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago. I applaud the opposition for taking such steps. Dr. Early currently is in Washington, D.C., where he will receive an honorary doctorate degree from Howard University. So why now is the Prime Minister going against the opposition? You have nothing to tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, even though we ask questions. You have nothing to tell us. Somebody have to tell us something. Seeing that it's TTPS, I am sure that there are prominent lawyers in Trinidad and Tobago that will be able to send a letter because they are a lawyer, and through the Information of Freedom Act, they are well within their rights to send letters. Even Brent Thomas' lawyer has all rights to write to the Prime Minister, to write to the Attorney General, to write to the Commissioner of Police in Barbados seeking information of their client arrest or unlawful arrest, and what grounds was this act on? Caller, good night.
Good night, Said, and to all the listeners.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Imitation vaccine we got. The real vaccine we got gone to get an honorary doctorate. at the Howard University. And I'm hoping that he also bring back one for, you know who? The Honorable Abu Bakr. These two gentlemen, our Prime Minister and Abu Bakr, have similar sort of action that they have done. Right, they belong to two organizations. One the Muslimin and the other, you know, we just call them PENM, but there is a name for it too. Two organizations, they are leaders of two organizations. But more importantly, the critical thing, they both try to remove a government. One by guns and one by email in parliament. So that is why I say, if that university is concerned with discrimination, they would give Abu Bakr one at the same time and let my partner bring it back. The second thing I want to talk about, you see that Brent Thomas, our Prime Minister apparently staying away from truth. And I believe, based on his chairmanship of CARICOM National Security, he has a part to play. He knew in 2019, he had a big meeting with all security ministers, and he introduced impact. Remember, impact is controlled with all the aircraft. And I wouldn't be surprised if he commanded the aircraft to go and abduct the man and bring him back, because he would have known how the operational structure of impact would. He would have had all the contacts, so he could just pick up a phone and say, I am the guru of CARICOM Security, I am the chairman. And you realize how we do it. Quick. He filed a lawsuit in Mexico. Quick. He called a conference, a crime symposium, to mitigate and to deflect and camouflage his action. And you know what was his main action? All of this ramaging is to get rid of a fella they call Gigi, to silence him. So you do all sort of things.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. Viewers, there is now an additional funding for public defenders to represent persons who can't afford attorneys. Money for fire service tenders, police vehicle to subsidize gas and diesel, and the Tobago House of Assembly. This comes after the House of Representatives passed the government supplemental funding of $3.8 billion towards the 2023 budget to fund these areas and others in 22 divisions. $3.8 billion, and yet the corporation can't get money to buy material to patch the road in the community. Well, let's keep them things in mind. Keep these things in mind. They allocated money for all sorts of things. We taxpaying money going to cover all sorts of things, but it cannot cover. It can't cover material for the road. How come? And why is this? Why is Colin Imbert allocating finance for all sorts of things in Trinidad and Tobago, but they cannot allocate money to send to the corporation to fix the road? You know what I want to use? They want to use your property tax money to see about communities. Finance Minister Colin Imbert listed where some of the extra funding will assist, asking if the UNC was opposed to the following. Extra funding, $14 million for legal aid and advisory to have public defenders for people who can't afford attorneys. $62 million for Children Authority, the highest ever allocated to the authority since the interception. $600 million to subsidize gas and diesel. $100 million for TTPS vehicles. $100 million for the THA to handle infrastructure issue. $105 million to pay contractors for building schools. Other funds to pay suppliers. $78 million for the Arima and Point 14 Hospital. $103 million for construction work of the Hazel Crawford and Dwight York Stadium. All in the millions, the 100 millions. But nothing for the road. Or let's say something, Trinidad and Tobago. Say something. Hundreds of millions of dollars has been allocated, and Colin Mimbert said it's extra funding. We like it like that? That is how we like it? Well, then take it just like that. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, Mimbert, VAT bond will pay 100% of arrears after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Caroni Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Welcome back to Realtalk viewers. Remember, we are offering you 4% on fixed deposit. Remember that, viewers. And we're also giving you the opportunity to open a savings account for your children and for yourself at Realtalk Credit Union Information. Remember that. We are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road in Chaguanas. People, don't miss out on the opportunity to earn extra income. Something that you would not get anywhere. Something that you would not get in other financial institutions, but only at Realtalk. So moving along, input on VAT. The government has priced the $3 billion in VAT, the $3 billion in VAT bond. It's intended to issue to defray parts of the $7.8 billion in VAT arrears so that recipients of the bond will receive 100% owed. Finance Minister Colin Mimbert explained that the VAT bond will be there for 3 years and will pay a fixed interest of 3.15% per annum. 3.25% per annum. He said VAT bond will be paid to companies who are owed arrears in excess of $250,000, while those who are $250,000 or less in VAT refund will be paid in cash in May and June. Listen to him, Bert.
application forms for value-added tax bonds are now available online. And this would have been released to the media today. And VAT bonds will be issued with a 3-year tenor at a fixed interest rate of 3.15% per annum. The press release also indicates that only applicants being owed refunds in excess of $250,000 would be eligible to receive VAT bonds. Refunds of $250,000 or less will be paid in cash during the months of May and June of 2023. So, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we are going to clear off every single outstanding VAT refund that is of the order of $250,000 or less in cash in the months of May and June. And that is because we are committed to the small and medium enterprise sector.
Now Trinidad and Tobago input added that the government is seeking to also supplement the original 2023 appropriation by an additional $3.85 billion, which affects 22 heads of expenditure. The minister also stated that the source of funds are from supplementary appropriation will be met from the consolidated fund, as well as from loan financing if required. He said the government overdraft is in good shape, unlike the lean years when it ballooned as high as 99%. But wait now, and this is the same man who said our country is experiencing a boom, and a few months after we just ain't had no boom again. Now the overdraft is at 39%, and a few weeks prior it was 35%. There is now a $5 to $6 billion available in the overdraft. Listen to our finance minister.
Members are advised that the source of funds for the supplementary appropriation will be met from the consolidated fund, as well as from loan financing if required. At this point in time, I'm very pleased to announce that the government's overdraft is in very good shape. And unlike the lean years, when we in finance looked at the overdraft every single day, we still do, but not in the same way, and became quite anxious when the overdraft hit 90% and 95% and sometimes 99% and so on, meaning that there was only money to run the country for a couple of days. Today, the overdraft is at 39%. And for a few weeks prior was at 35%. So we have available to us another $5 to $6 billion in the overdraft. So we may not need to engage in loan financing. We will if necessary.
How much more loans again? Call a good night.
Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Yeah, man, I just want to go back a little bit to give you some information. If a public servant has to go in the course of his duty from Trinidad to Tobago, he must get permission, his director must get permission from the permanent secretary of the head of the ministry. Even if he's going by boat,
yes,
and it was only $100 then, permission must be obtained from the permanent secretary for that public servant to go to Tobago by boat for spend $100. I'm saying that if the police had to send somebody outside the country, the director, in this case would have been the commissioner, would have had to get permission from the permanent secretary or the head of the ministry. So the permanent secretary would have had to know. The permanent secretary reports to the minister, and the minister reports to the cabinet.
Correct.
So it is, I mean, how could they say that the PS didn't know, the minister did not know, and how these people, public police officers went there? They have to fire these police officers. Otherwise, somebody is lying, but not somebody, or somebody is lying because the permanent secretary had to give permission for that additional expenditure before he could have gone. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Now, this matter is easy to solve, you know. Who are the police officers that left Trinidad and went to Barbados? Who did they receive instruction from? They received it from an inspector? Okay, no problem. The inspector, let's roll out this like this. We're not judging, eh? 5 police officers left Trinidad and Tobago and went to hold a guy in Barbados. These officers have to get authorization from somebody higher than them. Let's just say the inspector. The inspector ordered these 5 police officers to go Barbados. Who did the inspector got? Or where did he get authorization from to direct these 5? Okay, so we go to the senior superintendent now. The senior superintendent have to get that information or that order from somebody higher than him. Okay, good. From the superintendent, we're going to the commissioner of police. Who gave the commissioner of police authorization to pass it down to the superintendent, to pass it down to the inspector, to pass it down to these 5 police? Well, now the commissioner have to answer. Where did you get your information from? How did you go about? Or what procedure did you take? Did you follow the law? I got that from the minister of so and so. And the whole ball game upset right there. Keep in mind the judge said it was unlawful. I want to let you understand that. Somebody had to take the rap. Call her good night.
Good night, Saieed. You know what is, of great concern, sir? You had people since 2017 in opposition constituency that was flooded out, and more recently in Bamboo and all these places. And all kind of excuses are being made not to pay them no money. And you see the government is giving out grants, 800 million and this and 8 million and whatever for repair. And this money is going to their supporters. And look at the kind of people who is receiving these money, sir.
Yes.
This is grave injustice, sir. How could you give your supporters money, say it's grant, and people who suffer flood, they haven't got 1 cent. People, you remember that big flood in Madras where people had to use boat to go in and things, sir? They haven't got nothing. They say they don't have forms. How ridiculous, how more ridiculous this government. Where is the opposition in all of this, sir? Now look at something. The people of Trinidad want to know what transpired in that Brent Thomas affair.
Yes.
We know, of course, Rowley, when they immediately after, I don't know if he has influence, they to us with, to calm the waters or whatever. The opposition leader wrote to the Prime Minister and asked what really went on. You know this man, the Prime Minister, our honorable, most honorable Prime Minister, said it's only one government it has. All right? If it is one government, where is Candice Bond now? Where is the American ambassador? Where is Candice Bond now? Who says government officials include the opposition and get them to, what kind of nonsense is going on? What kind of double standard is this, sir? How much more ridiculous? And again, sir, is it true that this man is going for an honorary award for making Trinidad a better place? Is this world upside down, sir? You giving Rowley an award. We 6th in the world for crime. Look at what is happening and you're giving the award. Isn't this most backward and ridiculous, sir? I don't know. It is time, one way or the other, this man has to demit officer. I don't know. Something is seriously wrong. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back from this break, we're gonna hear Kamala. Fiscal adjustments offer no relief for citizens.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook. Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Welcome back, viewers. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa have stated that there are no signs of economy progress or relief on the way after assessment of the mid-year budget review presented by Finance Minister Colin Imbud. Prasad Bisesa wanted to know how Imbud planned to repay the additional deficit that would be incurred from the additional $4 billion requested, especially as revenue returns have been lower than expected. She stated that the revenue has fallen as it is about $1 billion less, which Imbud said is not bad. She questioned Imbud on when last did he went to the supermarket to know that it is bad for many persons. Opposition leader also commented on how hard it is for members of TTPS, National Security, and many others who are low in morale because their money cannot provide for their families. Listen to Kamala.
So we look at the expenditure, look at the revenue. Those are the areas that we want to look at. And for the minister, we talk about how much came in on revenue, how much came in terms of expenditure. But the point is that the revenue has fallen, seriously fallen. If my memory serves me right, it's about $1 billion less. So it's not so bad. Minister says it's not so bad. But I don't believe him. It is very bad out there. When last did you go out in a supermarket not to buy air conditioning and a generator, but went out there to buy food? When last did you do it? And you will know how bad it is for people who cannot. You know, we talk about the TTPS, we talk about the national security, and the officers, there are many officers, they are great officers, but they are so seriously low in morale because their money cannot buy them the things they need to feed their families. And we see nothing here to help them with that.
Now, viewers, Prasad Bisesa said, while the government had requested additional funding, there was nothing in the mid-year review to address the concerns of average citizens who are being adversely impacted by issues created by the COVID-19 pandemic. She also wondered about the impact of the planned payout of outstanding VAT payment under a bond arrangement, as she questioned how much of it or how much of the $7.8 billion will be covered in the cash payment. Listen to this.
The minister said refunds $250,000 or less cash, May and June. Collect your cash. How many persons will benefit from this? Minister told us last week it was about $7.8 billion in VAT refunds that are owed to people. It is their money. So how much out of that $7.8 billion will be covered in the cash payments? How much will it be? Minister told us $1 to $2 billion of the refunds owed will be paid in cash. So it means the bulk of it will be for people to take bonds.
So how many of the businessmen in Trinidad and Tobago or the businesswomen is going to take bond in a time like this? Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saieed Ali.
Go right ahead, you're live.
Okay, Saieed, hear this. These police and them in this country, they're rare out of hand and not Saieed. Nobody is given accountability for what the police do, and they're doing
Correct.
not only at that high level in not Saieed Ali, they're doing it at even the lower level in the community. For example, there is a youth man in Forever, Saieed Ali, shoot up 2 children party, shoot up a woman house, rob various people, beat up various people's children, rob a grocery in Ruka, and keep in people's car. And guess why? That all the reports and all the complaints and even a footage of a shooting with a gun in his hand went unanswered. You know why, Mr. Ali? Because his sister is living with a CID police from Arima, and his stepfather and his father is an ex-policeman. So all reports and all footage went unanswered. As a result of that, the person that sent the footage to the 5-member police station, the police in Arima station went and hold that person's son and charged them for a shooting that he don't even know about and he was never even there. Do you see what happening? Crime can't done in this country, Mr. Saieed Ali. Crime can't done in this country. A poor man now will have to go and sell the motor car, sell the house, sell all what he has, and get somebody and give him another 50 and another 35,000, and in the only way we go get rid of the policeman's son, and he, and the wife, and everybody, and how crime go done? Crime can't done. Saieed Ali, an next example. All them people that die in St. Augustine, I am telling you, they are labeled to be informers. They are labeled to be informers. So the people of the country is going to the wrong people. You cannot trust the police of this country, Saieed Ali. And who does the police have to report to? Nobody, the guard, nobody, the guard, Saieed. So the country is under siege. And it's by these very same people, somebody got to do something, Saieed Ali. The people in this country is taking too much.
Yes.
Over too much. Everybody only talking and talking and talking and saying this and saying that. But what anybody doing? Nothing. So they're continuing to do all what they're doing. These police in China, they're going to read out all that. I'm telling you that. I am telling you that. At the low ground level, I have seen a lot of different things happen where they are concerned. I live at Maloney. That alone I tell you all. Have a nice night, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Lee, MP Lee to the government. When are they going to reduce fuel price at the gas stations? That's the question asked by opposition MP David Lee to appropriate $3.8 billion of additional funding into this year's budget in the parliament. Listen to this.
The minister said refunds $250,000 or less cash, May and June. Collect your cash. How many persons will benefit from this? Minister told us last week it was about $7.8 billion in VAT refunds that are owed to people. It is their money. So how much out of that $7.8 billion will be covered in the cash payments? How much will it be? Minister told us $1 to $2 billion of the refunds owed will be paid in cash. So it means the supplementation now that has been asked for the Office of the Honourable Attorney General. I cannot not speak about that. We have been asked today to approve an additional $190 million.
The head I'm talking about is the subsidy head, all right? So to put things in context, the Minister of Energy and the Minister of Finance is coming to say we need $600 million more to take care of subsidy fuel, subsidy for the payment of fuel at the pump. We had budgeted back in October $1 billion. So now the entire figure will be $1.6 billion. As at
not thousand, $190 million. Office of the Attorney General. For what? For legal fees. This is an additional amount to that already allocated in October 2023, in Budget 23, of $63.5 million. Making a total allocation for legal fees for fiscal 2023 of $253 million. Now, Mr. Deputy Speaker, thanks to the hard work of a legal luminary, I call him Ravi Balgobin Maharaj, did FOIAs over a year, we have discovered that over $1 billion has been paid in legal fees since this government came into office to the present time. Over $1 billion, sir, paid in legal fees.
Trinidad and Tobago. Gas price at the pump reduced. For us, no, it didn't. According to David Lee, in his contribution, Lee cited statement by the Prime Minister. Lee also quoted statements from Colin Imbert. Now, listen to this. Colin Imbert and the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, surrounding the removal of fuel subsidy and the price of gas at the pump based on their statement, Lee, he said, citizens may be overpaying for fuel even with the subsidy. Hear this now. The PM previously said that if oil drops, meaning the barrel of oil drops below 80 US, premium drops to $6.28. Super to $6.05. And if it drops to 75 US per barrel, premium will drop to $5.68 and super will drop to $5.43. Listen to this.
It is the responsibility of the government to defend the litigation. So to come here where you, on the other side, are driving up the cost of litigation to the state, and the state and the Attorney General must defend the litigation, is a little...
What we anticipate is going to happen is that every month the government will post at the fuel subsidy, at the fuel use place, a price of the based on the average price of oil during the previous month, during that month. So at the end of the month, the government will look and see what was the average price of fuel during the month, and we'll post that for the month ahead. And then we'll do the same thing, average price, when the month ahead comes, end of the month, you look at the average price. So if that average price was $85, premium will drop to $6.92, super to $6.66, but diesel will stay at $4.41 because we are keeping diesel with its own, with its 50 cents increase. If it drops to $80, premium drops to $6.28, super to $6.05, and if it drops to $75, premium will drop to $5.68, and super will drop to $5.43. So super, between 87 and 75, the price will drop from $6.97 to $5.43 And Madam Speaker, I guarantee you, if the price falls as we anticipate it could, and these adjustments are made downward, you will hear nothing of the downward movement from our friends on the other side.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, you heard the statement from the Prime Minister. Now, Lee stated that the price of oil has averaged for the last 7 months was US 79.44 cents. So $79.44 per barrel. And since December, the average price of oil has never surpassed $80 US per barrel. Listen to this.
So now the government has officially admitted that the price going forward is $80, which is the Minister of Energy stated that at the SSC committee. And just as they immediately increased the price at the end of the budget. So there was an immediate, what the Minister of Finance came in the budget, he increased the price of oil, the price of gas at the fuel pump. And I am asking, is the government today overcharging citizens for fuel at the gas station over the last 7 months? The price of oil, and we're not talking about what the Minister of Finance produced here this afternoon about the basket and it's not WTI we use and so forth. We are talking about fuel prices. So the price of oil has averaged for the last 7 months $79.44. Right? So what the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance talked about, the price at the pump when it's $80 or less. So since December, the average monthly price of oil has never surpassed $80.
So now Trinidad and Tobago. Therefore, the price of super in the last 7 months should have been $6.09 that we paid at the pump, as opposed to what we are paying today of $6.97. That is 86 cents per liter. We should have been paying less. This is why we call it real talk. What you getting? So you're supposed to be paying 86 cents less per liter. His comments came as the government seeks additional funding in this fiscal year. Budget towards subsidy. Lee questioned the fuel subsidy supplementation by $600 million. He said the government had allocated $1 billion in the budget. So it's $1.6 billion he questioned. Where was that $1 billion used before today that they are asking for the other additional of $600 million? Listen to Lee.
We are here today to increase that fuel subsidy to $600 million, by $600 million. We had allocated $1 billion, so it's 1.6. Where they use that $1 billion before today that they're asking for the $600 billion? Where was that used? How they use it up? And I don't want the Minister of Finance to wind up and come and say, well, you know, diesel subsidized. And I want to tell the Minister, and he knows it, we get money, something through the Petroleum Products Subsidy Fund. So even if diesel is subsidized, I think we get a considerable amount of money through that fund to even take care of that subsidy under diesel. Deputy Speaker, I am saying this country, the citizens have been overpaying prices at the pump, because the Prime Minister had promised us here in that budget debate that they were going to produce monthly prices at the gas stations. That has not happened, and the price of the oil has been dropping, Deputy Speaker.
So now Prime Minister is asking the opposition, why did you send a letter now to Mayor Motley requesting information on the investigation into Brent Thomas? The Prime Minister forgot what he said concerning oil and gas. You're studying what the opposition is doing, but you ain't studying what you said you will do. For who? Our citizens to benefit. We're supposed to be paying 86 cents less at the pump. What are we paying? Well, according to David Lee, we are paying 86 cents, what? More. This is Real Talk with Saieed Ali, and we are going for a short commercial break.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Real Talk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
So Trinidad and Tobago, are we paying more for fuel than we supposed to? Is it correct that we are paying 86 cents more than we supposed to? Ask yourself, did the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago stick to his words? No! There was supposed to be some committee set up by the Prime Minister's office to monitor the monthly trading of the oil. Is that in place? No. What are you doing? You are paying 86 cents more on the liter. Let me tell you something. We're working on a little something there. All you can see for yourself. Now what's that? Hey, watch me now. All it is get on this program is the facts. We are buttering up nothing. We are honey coating nothing. We are sugar coating nothing. Watch me. We are putting no syrup on nothing to eat, you know. What you're getting is facts. And tonight, all who just want to say, oh, side this and side that and side the next. You're paying for more fuel than you're paying for, and you can't even open your mouth. You know why? Because you ain't know. You ain't even keeping track of your spending. But boy, you know things expensive in the grocery. You're paying more for fuel and you don't even know that. But side this and side that and side the next. All ready? So Trinidad and Tobago, bring it up, blow it up as close to the screen, the figures. Trinidad and Tobago, you are going to see the price for oil right now. Let me tell you something. It is under $80 US a barrel. Look at it. Under US $80 per barrel. 72.37 US. West Texas crude oil. Brent crude 76.23. Hey, watch me. those price is in US. WTI crude, $72.33 US. So what you're doing? You're paying under $80 per barrel. Come back to me. All you talk now. Talk now. Blah blah all your mouth. What is the Prime Minister telling the opposition? Why you right to Mayor Motley? The Prime Minister, not the Minister of National Security, nor nobody from TDPS is coming out to tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago anything concerning the Brent Thomas case. But a judge find it what? Unlawful, you call it? Kidnapping. The Prime Minister studying somebody else's affair. What about what you tell the citizen? What about what you told the citizen? And if the price reduced on a monthly base, Allah will reduce the price on a monthly base, what are they getting? What are they getting? Run back to David Lee. Yeah.
We are here today to increase that fuel subsidy to $600 million. By $600 million. We had allocated $1 billion, so it's 1.6. Where they use that $1 billion before today that they're asking for the $600 billion? Where was that used? How they use it up? And I don't want the Minister of Finance to never come and say, well, you know, diesel subsidized. And I want to tell the Minister, and he knows it, we get money, something through the Petroleum Product Subsidy Fund. So even if diesel is subsidized, I think we get a considerable amount of money through that fund to even take care of that subsidy under diesel. Deputy Speaker, I am saying this country, the citizens have been overpaying prices at the pump because the Prime Minister had promised us here in that budget debate that they were going to produce monthly prices at the gas stations. That has not happened, and the price of the oil has been dropping, Deputy Speaker.
Now, put back up the figures now. So Trinidad and Tobago, West Texas crude is how much? $72 US and 37 cents. Come back to me. So here it is. Here is Trinidad and Tobago. The PM previously said that if oils drop, meaning barrel of oil drops below 80 US, premium drops to 628, super drops to 605, and if it drops to $75 US, premium will drop to $5.56. What is the price you're seeing on the screen there? Turn it back. What is the price you're seeing on the screen? Trinidad and Tobago. Let's say something now. Come back to me. Let's say something now. Brag all your mouth. Those who say Saieed is a big mouth and he this and he that and he's the next, brag your mouth now. You're getting robbed in front of your eye and you can't say nothing. Say something. Say something. By the way, my name is Saieed Ali. You are viewing Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Viewers, we have come to the end of our program for tonight. Our rerun of this program is Monday from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Until we meet again, be safe and enjoy the weekend.